on your way? And what's news around the world today?
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's Good Morning
Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा
Namaste.
नमस्कार
Vanakkam.
खुश आमदीद
Assalamu alaikum.
सत श्री अकाल
మీకు అందరికి వందనము.
जय स्वामी नारायण
जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय जनेन्द्र
मैं इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते याली मदद.
मौलाली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीचे बदल बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बंजान हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे मैं से फालतू बाबा
And of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बंधुजानी. हम आपको ये कहना चाहते हैं कि क्षमा चाहते हैं बंधुजान की थोड़ी देर से आज हमारी शुरुआत हुई. लेकिन we had a very good reason for it and there's a very big surprise for you.
Yeah, it's coming सब सरप्राइज आ रहा है बट आप लोगों के लिए just wait patiently for that. But लेकिन अभी के लिए आप जो भी वेट कर रहे हैं for what's happening on the roads रास्ते का हाल अभी हम लोग देंगे आप लोगों को टोटल सस्ते.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
That's Abanjan 408-912-2479. रास्ते पे क्या हो रहा है कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा Abanjan. Very nice smooth roads all the way except in South Bay में. If you go towards San Jose, there's a little bit of an accident over there on Maki Road, just kind of blocking traffic on the northbound 101 Abanjan. Watch out for that. The right lane is blocked over there. Expect delays on that. Further down towards South San Jose, Tully Road के आसपास में एक disabled vehicle दिखाई दे रही है. Which actually CHP is on the scene, towed it away, but so watch out for that. Don't stop. It's not something which you can just check on. Disabled vehicle is something which always is a bothersome thing to me at least because you don't know if there's some emergency happening or there. I've been married multiple times. I have actually called 911 reporting a disabled vehicle. Do you know that? Yeah, what they say is people actually steal the cars and they run out of gas, just drop the car on the freeway and walk away.
What are you talking about?
That's
Seriously?
what they claim. That's what told me at least one thing. Hey, Banjan, that's something there for you guys. Lekin weather-wise, dekha jaye to Banjan, it's going to be cloudy. I told you. We just not went on air. So by noon tak to nikal denge, Banjan. Clouds will be gone totally. We'll have sunny weather all the way in the afternoon, Banjan, and tomorrow as well. Probably some clouds on Thursday and Friday. But the weekend is awesome. It's an awesome weekend, Banjan. Do not miss out on that for sure. Lekin abhi ke liye, that's all I have for you guys happening locally. What's going on happening locally over here, as in the weather-wise and traffic-wise, but news-wise, Bandajan, Faltani, do we have the news for us? At least the headlines for our bandus. Or just directly go on. How about going directly into the news? What's happening locally?
We can go to the United States news, Altu Baba,
Oh
and
my
we'll also
God, we are in the United States, Faltani. What's news here?
news from across the United States. Altu, tu kuch bhi bolta rahega.
Go on.
Very set fellow.
Waiting, Faltani, waiting.
Okay, so Banajan, let's start off with what's going on in the United States. A Democratic U.S. Congressman Alcee Hastings of Florida dies at the age of 84. His office just shared today, further narrowing the party's majority in the lower chamber of Congress. Ohio businessman announces a run for Portman's U.S. Senate seat. Cleveland businessman Bernie Moreno announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate on Tuesday, casting himself as a Republican outsider who would protect the victories of former President Donald Trump if elected to the seat of retiring Senator Rob Portman. Stay out of politics. Republican leader McConnell tells U.S. CEOs and warns of serious consequences. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell lashed out at corporate America on Monday, warning CEOs to stay out of the debate over a new voting law in Georgia that has been criticized as restricting votes among minorities and the poor. And he's, oh my God, this is like dhamki. He says we will seriously, there will be consequences. In a sign of a growing rift in the decades-old alliance between the Conservative Party and U.S. corporations, McConnell said, "My advice to corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Don't pick sides in these big fights."
Oh my God, Boom, don't pick sides in these big fights.
Yeah, and you will invite serious consequences. And he says they will invite serious consequences if they become a vehicle for far left mobs to hijack the country from the constitutional order.
So it actually is an open threat in a democratic country, Bundajan.
Yes,
In
exactly.
a democratic country where you have the freedom to do what you want, they even recognize corporations to be entities.
Yeah.
And the freedom for them to do business the way they want to do. Because corporations are because the people they work there, right?
Yeah.
Come on, what is it? You want them to unionize right now?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? The big for those of you who are not familiar with that matter, right? The whole issue was how they are restricting voting rights
In
of
Georgia.
people, and there is no equity there. There is a lot of racial disparity in Georgia, Bandajan, and you really that is why finally CEOs started speaking up. Of Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Apple, a lot of CEOs started speaking up, and now he's warning them against
So
it.
here's what I want. Actually, I want all the people who listen right now to be, all of the US, right, to start doing one thing over here. Start a campaign getting Mitchie out of the office.
Huh?
Get Mitchie out of the office.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What? Oh wow! All these people, you should make a list of all those support
Well, you
Trump
know,
and get them out of the offices. Make sure you do campaigns, spend money towards getting them out of the offices in their respective places. So we have new people coming in, new blood coming into the system. Come on, yeah.
Right.
How long we have the old system going on with us? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Manijan, let's also tell you that where was I? I was talking about Mitch McConnell, right?
Yeah.
He says he finds it completely discouraging to find a bunch of corporate CEOs getting involved in the middle of politics. Yeah, and we find it completely discouraging to have a bunch
Wow.
of racist,
Seriously?
supremacist people sitting in office.
Father, this is not fair. Just because we said a few words about them doesn't mean you got to target us that way. Come on.
What is
And
target?
we did the same thing, right? After we took a stance is when they actually started taking the report, right?
That's true,
He
actually.
didn't proceed when Tim Cook talked about it and all. Okay, Tim, it's high time we actually come together, okay?
Yeah.
Let's do it together. Let's do a concerted effort.
Right, exactly. Also, let's come and talk a little bit about the local Bay Area, Banujan. The Oakland International Airport Terminal 1 has been evacuated due to a man who is running around armed with a knife, according to the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. Deputies responded to the airport's Terminal 1 and evacuated the building as they contacted the armed man who was near the baggage claim area. Sheriff's officials have said he was threatening to supposedly hurt himself, and deputies and crisis negotiators were speaking with the man to get him help. He was not threatening anybody else. In news from local Bay Area, Banajan, San Francisco Unified School Board, the trustees will vote on adopting a resolution to formally pause the renaming process for dozens of schools in a move that could avoid costly lawsuits filed against the board by a group of one of the high schools in question. And, for all those of you who are not familiar with what exactly was happening there, that was supposed to be where they're removing anybody who had any form of association with the slave movement, and also with
Renaming of schools and everything, right?
Yeah, so they were trying to rename all of that, but now the board of trustees is voting to actually pause that for now. Also, Google's downtown San Jose project, Bandajan, that particular project is announced a new $200 million investment from the internet giant in the downtown San Jose community as part of its planned downtown West commercial and residential project in the Diradon station area. The fund, dubbed a community benefits package, is outlined in the new published development agreement for the project and focuses on bolstering the local economy by providing training, education, and job programs, as well as minimizing displacement as the new offices fill up, according to the city. The investment also commits to additional housing, open space, and recreation for the Downtown West project, which, as proposed, would bring 4,000 new homes, 15 acres of open space, and more small business opportunities to the area, the city said. The fund also establishes a community-based decision-making process for addressing specific needs with a focus on equity as the city recovers from the coronavirus pandemic.
Finally.
Altu Baba, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes, I'm thinking even their picture listen to our shows.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking
sorry,
about
okay.
something else.
You're
The
thinking
wheels in my mind are...
The wheels in your mind go cluck, cluck, cluck.
Cluck, cluck,
cluck, cluck, cluck, cluck. Because I've been oiled for quite some time.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, Binajan, 3 more Bay Area counties move into the orange tier for reopening. And which are these counties? Alameda County is one of the counties that's moving into the orange tier. And the other 2 counties we're talking about, the only one that's left behind is now Solano County, as they are not yet in the orange tier. Contra Costa, Sonoma, and Napa counties also have met the criteria for lower rates of infection and are expected to move from the red tier into the less restrictive orange tier this week. Also, let's talk a little bit about world news. Banajan, do we have time for that, Altu?
Sure, Fadwani, you can jump directly into the world news right now.
Okay, a skeptical president invited Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday to form a new government after another inconclusive election deepened political stalemate in Israel. As you know, yesterday we talked about it, how often the stalemate has been happening. There has been really no party that has been gaining a big majority for them to form government. So it's just, by bare margins that they're forming a government. World powers, Iran and the US, launch indirect talks to revive the Iran nuclear deal. European intermediaries began shuttling between Iranian and US officials in Vienna on Tuesday as they sought to bring both countries back into full compliance with the 2015 nuclear deal that Washington abandoned 3 years ago. Russian police detained 9 people outside a prison holding Alexei Navalny, who is a Kremlin critic, on Tuesday as a small group of his supporters came to the facility and authorities turned away a dictator. Not a dictator, sorry, a doctor who tried to see him. I'm thinking of Putin, I'm thinking dictator in my head. Oh God.
Navalny, right?
Navalny, yeah.
They turned back the doctor, right?
Yeah, they turned
Yeah,
back.
the plastic surgery wounds are not healed as yet on the new person who's Navalny.
Altu Baba, seriously?
His name is not
I
Navalny.
really hope he didn't die. I feel so terrible.
His name is not Navalny, his name is Newelly.
Whatever, man.
Newelly.
Okay.
Newelly is the guy who actually going to replace Navalny.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And of course, in news from Myanmar, Punjab, the pro-democracy protesters sprayed red paint on roads in Yangon on Tuesday in a reminder to the junta that it had blood on its hands as the crisis created by a military coup in the Southeast Asian nation dragged on with no end in sight. And in India, Bandujan, in news from India, 4 days after the deadly Maoist ambush which led to the death of 22 security personnel in Bastar, the outlawed Communist Party of India, the Maoist party, on Tuesday claimed 5 of their own fighters were also killed in the process. Also, in COVID updates from India, Bandujan, it is really disturbing because COVID is spreading faster in the second wave. The next 4 weeks are very critical, is what the center is saying. And the quote is very, very critical. India has reported close to 97,000 fresh cases in the last 24 hours. On April 5th, India became only the second country in the world after the United States to report over 1 lakh new cases a day. And in the Modi government is now asking all central government employees aged 45 and older to please get vaccinated right away. They haven't opened it up to everyone as President Biden is planning to here in the United States, but they're asking people 45 and older to get vaccinated. And the Maharashtra government on Tuesday moved the Supreme Court challenging the Bombay High Court order directing the CBI probe against former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. You could get more information about all of this that we just shared with you on MediaMahima.com.
And of course, with this, we're going to be saying have a wonderful, terrific Tuesday. But we'll see you in the evening live at 5 with the Pam Pam Show. तब तक के लिए गाना सुनिएगा बंजान. The music direction of Pritam, music lyrics by Amitabh Bhattacharya and sung by
lot of people
actually.
I think
yes.
Amit Mishra.
Yeah, quite a lot of people. And again, this is
Dev
again
Negi.
from the movie Chichore.
Yes.
ये कौन बोला? क्योंकि हम हैं सुगंधा मिश्रा.
Hi guys, this is Shraddha and you're listening to Radio The Hottie, where the entertainment gets hotter, hotter, hotter.
हाय हिरने लगे न तू बड़ी